back. We're going to finish up this 14 days of curriculum that we're taking days because life happens. So welcome to 14 days of curriculum. This is where we're talking about my top picks. We are in the middle of high school, 10th grade. 10th grade. It's such a fun time. I'm like, oh my gosh, high school is the coolest. So if you started and you have not watched the other videos, there is a video that I did before I did the 9th grade video about high school. You probably need to go back and review that one. But just to kind of go over these things again, let's see. I'm messing things up. Always double check your state laws. If you're not a veteran and you're new, you need to go over and see what your state requires, or your country if you're not in the United States. I like to send people to homeschoollegaldefense.org. Basic summaries, very well written out. You do not have to be a member to get that basic summary. Although, if you do become a member, they have some awesome resources there that beyond anything legal. So, 10th grade, at this point, you already have a plan. Plans need to be, in place before you start. If you are starting in the middle of high school, look at what your state requires of your homeschooler. Look for what your state requires your high schoolers use to graduate, is what I mean. So what would do is, if you're in Alabama like I am, you would Google Alabama high school graduation requirements. If they were in public school, you have that plan already that's already been started. You can deviate from that plan somewhat, but if you already have a plan in place, use it as your guideline. It is not your law because you have become a homeschooler, but it's good to have it so that you know where you're going. Don't stress too much over what's required on there. There are always ways to work them out, and to find curriculum that's similar. I like to keep my kids' transcripts similar to what the public school does, simply because they're going to community college, public college. We don't usually, I haven't used a private college yet. If they were in private school, go back to the school that they were in and pull up their graduation requirements. Now, again, these are tools, these are not laws for you. Dependent on your state, you have to go by your state laws. If you're in the United States, that's just how it is. So that's where you start, because you need to see what the plan is, where you're going, how to make decisions. Now, most high school transcripts are going to have the four core: English, math, science, history. And then there are electives, and it just depends on how you organize that. So if you're starting in the middle and you were not homeschooling last year, that is where you start. We can talk about that more in detail. I will put a link on how to. I do consult. I do have a special going on. If you want to go there and you feel like you need extra help, I don't want you to ever think that you can't get a hold of somebody. And my amounts are reasonable right now. I have specials like $27, So anyway, so that's enough of that. That's the commercial. Let's go on to what to look at. So the first thing, when you're looking for curriculum, I want you to narrow your overwhelm. Ask yourself some basic questions. Do you want faith-based or secular? Some people it doesn't matter, some people it does. Ask yourself that. It's going to help you cut curriculum in half. Then online or offline. A lot of moms are they want to do online because they feel like they cannot teach the things. That's okay. Just decide what you want to do, and then it will narrow down what you're looking for. My mom taught me to do this with menus when I would get overwhelmed with menus at a new restaurant when I was a kid. Don't look at what you don't like, just look at what you do. So anyway, that's the start. So what are some of my top picks for 10th grade? I'm hitting all the wrong buttons today, aren't I? I'm telling you. Let's see. There they are. So my top picks for 10th grade. Again, go back and watch the video that I did for before you begin high school. That will help some. There's not a lot of difference between year to year. Typical at this age for my kids, we're doing either algebra 1 or geometry at this point. It just depends on your child. I've had some that had pre-algebra in ninth grade. I've had some that did not. They had it in eighth grade. It just depends on whether they were a math-minded kid or not. So don't stress out too much which one you start with. So you're going to do either you'll be doing either geometry or algebra 1 in this section. If your child was really behind when you started homeschooling, and let's say you're still at pre-algebra at this point or below, it's okay. On the transcript, you would call anything below pre-algebra, algebra, math, math 9, math 10, math 11. It happens. I have a lot of special needs parents, and this is what we name it on the transcript. You're fine. With math, always start where they are and move forward. Do not ever try to skip, because you're not doing anyone any good if you're skipping math concepts. Math builds. So don't stress over that. So anyway, this year, typically you're either doing algebra 1 or geometry. Either one's fine. Yeah. Either one. So either one of those. Then for English, you're doing the same kind of things. My top pick for math, because I'm skipping, is teaching textbooks online. My girls have loved it. If you do not want online, they do have offline workbook curriculum. That's my top pick. It is spiral. It goes, which means it's going over the different types of math and reviewing. When they were little, we did Math UC, which is mastery. They have both of those subjects, and it's a good pick. Either one is fine. Math UC does not have an online component. I do believe they have teachers now, and you can have it like an online class now. I do believe they've done that. But we like teaching textbooks. That's my top pick. English, my top pick would be probably we do Mia Prep for everything but math. They have a very solid program for English. I'm very impressed with it. Khan Academy has a pretty they're trying to update their stuff. They've kind of been very math minded. They're adding more in. Easy Peasy is free. They have a pretty good English program. With Mia Prep, which is the one we use, you're going to be paying for everything. You can't just buy the subject. Also, at this point at 10th grade, you're looking at a lot of colleges will do early enrollment. You could technically go and do early enrollment in a college class and get English there. That is an option at this age. Sometimes it's 10th, sometimes it's 11th. Either one would be fine. So that's my top pick, though, is Mia Prep. That's what we use online, and it is secular. We are Christian, but I've never met a curriculum I don't like. It's very, very rare that I don't like a curriculum, or I find something that there's very few that I actually don't like. History, at this point, you're going to be doing beginning, typically in the U.S., you're going to be doing American history. They do it in 2 years. They have a 1 year, 1 and 2. You do not have to do it that way. We did simply because with my son, because he loved American history. With my daughters, we have not, because personally, I think 2 years of American history and a year of American government is a little bit excessive. But I am an international household, and I do want my children to know their father's history too. So for us, it looks different. There's no right or wrong. You just need history. Our top pick, again, we use Mia Prep, but my son used Knotgrass History for American history. Very, very intense course. It would not be my top pick unless your child really, really loves to read. Some other ones is Mystery of History. The story of the world, people have an adult level, but it's good. It is not American history rich. again, you can do early enrollment and get American history too. So science, at this point, you're doing biology, possibly, or either chemistry, depending on your child. You could possibly be doing, I did have one that I did advanced biology before I did chemistry. No right or wrong. The only thing I would keep in sequence is biology and advanced biology. Those would not, I would not interchange those, but all the other sciences are interchangeable. Chemistry, I would put toward the end of high school simply because of the math involved in chemistry. Electives, you keep doing the electives. For us, we do piano 4 years, we do PE 4 years. I will only give them 1 credit for PE, even if they do it for 4 years, because we are not doing PE every day. Usually it's only 2 to 3 days a week, depending on their schedule, and I'm not going to lie on their transcript and give them more than what they get. Piano, they get 2. I give them piano practicum and piano theory. That's all they get. And foreign language, they get 2, even though they probably earn far beyond 2 credits. I just don't. I think it's excessive. Still, at this point, enjoy your time with your child. They're not adults yet. They are not on their own. Take time to explore what they like. Make sure you're getting computer skills in there. Again, solution point learning is my top favorite for computer classes. In fact, one of my college students has taken a computer class that is required this year, and she said Miss Susan was far beyond anything she has learned so far in this class. So it is a good class. Also, Susan will use her record keeping and her transcripts. So excellent company. I'm hoping, I keep telling her she needs more classes like leadership skills, soft skills. She needs a lot more. What else? Still, almost anything that your children do, you can find a way to turn it into a credit. You just need to do some research behind there to have some type of syllabus and to write out your plan in case anyone asks. I have never had anybody ask for my first 2 in college, but then they are only going to community college. So, but always keep good records. Other than that, that is what I would pick for 10th grade. Again, enjoy it. Enjoy all your time and all your days and all your things, because it goes fast. Keep good records, because you're not going to remember at the end of high school what you did. Write it down. Have a notebook for each child. Keep good records. If you need help, I will put a link in the top to show you where to schedule some of my time. I love talking curriculum. I love helping you plan. It is important, but I hope you enjoy this. We will do 11th grade tomorrow, and then we're going to finish up with 12th grade graduation. But anyway, it's long and it's fast. But if you take all the moments and enjoy your time, you're not going to miss out on anything. Make sure you schedule some field trips in there. We did VR yesterday, and you can see that on the channel too. So it was a lot of fun. But I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.